Blog Talk Radio.
Recruiting Animal here on May 8th, 2019. Look, I got a tip for anybody doing a podcast. Have good intro music, because if you're feeling down, just before the show starts, it'll pick you up a bit, okay? I just had that experience. It won't make your show good, but at least it'll help you start off. I'm just going to say a few things to you, then we're going to get to the guest. Adam Grant, I want to talk about him today. I follow him on Twitter. I follow him on Facebook. He's a famous, popular psychologist, and he wrote an article the other day advising us how to deliver criticism productively. And I like delivering criticism, so, I might as well know how to do it right. He uses the sandwich method, which I've heard before. First you compliment the person, then you criticize them, then you compliment them again. It's like a sandwich with the criticism buried between the two slices of bread. The idea is that, if you bury the person in compliments, and the criticism isn't going to drive them crazy, okay? Even if they're sensitive, they can handle it. Now, let me tell you, I did that once successfully. I went to a lecture. I thought it was very good, but the guy said one thing that I thought was not proper at all. So I sent him an email after, and I praised his talk to the skies, right? And it was sincere. I thought it was terrific. And then I noted his mistake, and he replied. He said, look, your criticism was right. And he said, you really know how to deliver criticism well. Of course, I flattered him to the skies, and I was flattered by his reply, right? I felt like, man, I really know how to do something right. So I tried to do it again with other people. But I never could do it once. You know why? Because I wasn't so enthusiastic about them. I didn't have any compliments, So when I tried to say something nice, it came out as phony and forced and, completely out of context, right? It had no effect at all. The people I was criticizing, they got mad at me, even though I was using this sandwich technique, because 99% of the time, that's just the way it is. You don't admire the people. You don't admire the people you criticize, and they don't like you, right? It's one of life's everyday tragedies. And I got to tell you something. On this show, we don't try to fake it here. If we think you're wrong, we tell you straight out on Jerry. What show is this?
The Recruiting Animal Show!
Thank you, Jerry. Thank you. And I'd like to thank my sponsors as well. PC Recruiter, the Swiss Army knife of recruiting software. Hire Tool, HIRETUAL, the super duper sourcing tool. And Honeit, HONEIT, the phone interview technology. Jerry, the guest asked me to play some introductory music for him today, and it was so awful. It was so awful, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. It was, I don't know, that heavy metal headbanging stuff. The band is called Five Fingered Punch. I think that's it. Let me just see if I can give you a sample. Hey everybody, I'm just pretending that Jerry's here. He doesn't show up. Here's the music though. Here it is. This is just the intro. You're not getting a taste of what it's really like. I mean, it is awful. Jim, the guest, are you there? Were you serious when you asked me to play this music? Jim! Oh, this is an answer. I know it's there. Crap music. I'm going to put it on hold.
That's
Okay.
Five-Finger Death Punch.
Is that what it's called? Five-Finger Death Punch? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Michael G. Cox. It stinks.
All right.
Do you like that?
I'm not the biggest fan, but yeah, I enjoyed that. I like them.
Guess what? We didn't even get to the singing. Bah, bah, bah. It sounds like the devil. It sounds like the devil. I don't understand it. Mental cases like that music, okay? This
Thanks,
guy's
Dad.
name is... Yeah, okay. This guy... I know how to deliver criticism, okay? I can teach Adam Grant a thing or two about criticism, okay? So anyway, the guy today, the guest is a guy named Jim Wahl. It's his Twitter address is J_WAHL, and he's in Dallas. You know, his Twitter. Just let me tell you, there's no picture. It's a cartoon, and there's no link to his LinkedIn profile or anything else that might help you identify him. He's got an active Twitter account, but for some reason, you know, he doesn't want you to know who he is. But I figured out who he is, okay? And that's who he is, J_WAHL. You know, but he called in a minute or two before the show started, and since my initial little conversation with him, he hasn't been answering. So if you can hear me, Jim, and there's some technical reason you're not answering the phone, why don't you hang up and call back? Because
There he is.
What?
Yeah.
Is he there? Oh, what's wrong with you? Did you go to the washroom? Well, you're on the show.
I was waiting for your rant to be done.
No, I was talking to you. I was playing your crappy music for a half an hour there, and you didn't even comment.
That's good sourcing music. That's what you need to source. Keep your head on straight. You can't listen to that.
Okay,
Bob
why don't you
Dylan
tell
garbage.
everybody? You know what? You're funny on the Facebook page. I got a feeling you're not going to be as funny here. Why don't you tell everybody? Why don't you tell everybody what you do? Okay, because I don't know.
You don't know what I do? I'm on LinkedIn. No,
yeah, I've got it in front of me. Okay, I know this guy does marriages on the weekend. Okay, how much he charge to get married, to marry people?
$150.
That's all.
That's
not
it.
Bad. And is it like non-denominational, secular?
No, I can do everything except Catholic and Jewish.
Oh, okay. Okay. What about Zoroastrian?
Well, now you're just getting weird now.
Okay, that's nice. You're in Persia.
Is that the one
it's not
with the
that
colander
weird.
on your head?
Okay. Let's get back to recruiting. What do you do? Just tell us succinctly, please.
Yeah, corporate recruiting for a hotel management company.
Who's got the people talking in behind them there? Get rid of them. Put yourself on mute. Maureen.
Yeah.
She's only been on the show for 10 or 11 years. She's doing her phone sourcing while she's on the show. Well, at least I know her. Hold on, I'm gonna block her.
She could. That's fine.
There she goes. Okay,
and by the way, that's not a cartoon on my Twitter. That's my tattoo on my left arm.
Okay, I'm not interested. I just want to know what do you do? What's your job? What's your job?
Cartoon. Recruiting.
What's your job? Don't resist me. What's your job?
It's still recruiting.
What do you do? Okay, do you want to say? Okay, we'll just get into it. Okay, let me ask some quickies, easy to answer to warm you up. What time did you wake up today?
4:30.
Is that your usual time?
Yeah.
Is that on purpose or by accident?
No,
like
that's
you
on
got to
purpose.
get up and pee or something.
Well, yeah, you got to. Well, no, I got up and pee at 2:30. Then I just get up at 4:30 to start my day.
Okay, what do you do at 4:30 in the morning?
We'll get up, walk the dog, get ready for go to the gym, then come to work.
Okay, you don't meditate by any chance, do you?
No, I don't have time to meditate.
Okay, do you have any hobbies?
Other than weddings, no. That keeps me busy. That's about $85 a year.
Final warm-up question: how many monitors do you have on your desk? How many monitors? Two, and you really like it?
I've got some warm-up questions.
If I could figure out how to get my laptop open and have these monitors open, I'd have 3.
Okay, a warm-up question from Michael G. Cox. Go ahead, shoot.
All right, favorite scotch and favorite cigar. It's
favorite
on his
scotch
profile.
Is 18-year-old Glenlivet. Favorite cigar is a Romeo and Juliet.
Oh,
Churchill.
Which one? Okay.
Yeah, Churchill. You gotta have a decent smoke. That's about an hour.
Yeah, at least.
Okay, let's move on. Bad hair. If you bring a candidate in for a senior role, face-to-face interview, and you see he's dyed his hair and done a bad job of it, is that going to affect your assessment?
What is he interviewing for? Is it for a hairdresser?
A senior role. It could be director, VP level. engineering manager.
Well, you like to focus a lot on people's looks.
I want to take a break real quick just to let you know about a new show we've just added to the network. Up Next at Work, hosted by Gene and Kata Keel of the Devon Group. Fantastic show. If you're looking for something that pushes the norm, pushes the boundaries, has some really spirited conversations, Google Up Next at Work, Gene and Kata Keel from the Devon Group.
So I don't think, no, I wouldn't, if he did a bad hair job, bad dye job, no, I'd still present him.
But it's not a problem. It wouldn't bias you against him or her, right?
No, I got to look beyond that. Based on all the cultures and everything I talk to, you can't base it on that.
This is a Jerry and Michael G. Cox question. If a candidate reschedules an interview, do you know that really this person's not really interested?
Why'd they reschedule?
Doesn't matter.
Well, Michael G. Cox, you want to take over?
Are people
Michael G. Cox?
dead?
No, okay,
Michael
so
G. Cox, you want to take?
Jerry shared this quite some time ago, and I think he shared it a few times. Those that reschedule just for one reason or another are never going to work out. They're just not. They don't see the value. They don't see, whatever the excuse or reason may be, just doesn't work out.
I'd give them one pass if something actually came up. Some of the roles I recruit for, they do get last-minute things. You got to give them one pass.
Okay, you give them a one pass. How many of those people that you've given a pass to have actually worked out?
Quite a few.
Okay.
But you got to look at the reason, though. So got one last weekend. So someone's interviewing to be an executive assistant, problem solver, personal assistant to our CEO. She couldn't make it to the interview because her electricity went out, and she had to wait for the electric company. She had to wait. Like, I don't know, does she work for the electric company? But she had to wait. So we passed on her. Because if you can't figure out how to take a shower at a gym or at a friend's house and get to an interview, we move on.
Yeah, the electricity has nothing to do with the shower. Next question. Blaming the recruiter. This is quoting you. Blaming the recruiter for a bad hire is like blaming the gasoline in your car for getting lost on a trip. Okay? You say that tenure is never associated with the recruiter unless the person hired works directly for the recruiter. There's too many factors the recruiter can't control. You believe that strongly?
Absolutely. If I gave you a bunch of people to look at and you chose that one, then you chose that one. I didn't make you hire that person. I put a gun to your head and said, you got to hire this guy and that's it. Or this is the only person in the world that does this job. You're the one that made that decision. And how you treated them, like the other thing, if I hit you in the head for free or hit you in the head with $100, you still get hit in the head.
Yeah, I don't understand that. I quoted you. I posted that on Twitter, but I don't get it. What does that mean? If I hit you in the head,
that was referring
for
to
nothing?
that dude that someone who's paying somebody $100 to apply, and it's still a crappy experience. It's still a crappy experience, no matter if you pay me or not. It's still crappy. Fix the experience.
Okay.
If you're paying me to apply, I can imagine.
Look, the thing is, the hiring manager makes the final choice, okay? But you're pushing the hiring manager in a certain direction. You're giving him or her a short list to choose from. So shouldn't you be responsible for the, let's say, 3 people that they are people that you can pretty well count on to stay for a while and do a good job? You're saying no, they might, I'm going to give 3 people, and if they all turn out to be lousy, it doesn't reflect on me. I don't think that's true.
If you come back to me and say, hey, Jim, all 3 of these are crap, I don't want to talk to any of them, that's me. That's my fault. If you say, Jim, these are all 3 great candidates, I'm going to go with Bob, and you pick Bob, that's your fault. That's like when you go to a restaurant and the waiter says, here's the 3 specials, you pick a special, and it turns out to be crap. Is it that waiter's fault?
Yeah.
What?
It's the restaurant's fault. Yeah, it is.
He suggested it to you. No.
Okay.
So you're saying that the hiring manager holds no responsibility for making a decision? None whatsoever?
You know what? If you tell the hiring manager to hire Jim and he hires Joe instead, and you had warned him, don't hire Joe.
He's not telling anybody.
Well, now you got me warning the guy.
Yeah, I've done it. I said, don't hire this guy. I would go with this other candidate, and he disregarded me and went with the guy. I said, don't hire him, and it didn't work out, right?
You submitted somebody that you actually said, "Don't hire."
So what happened? Well, I knew that was coming.
There you
Here's
go.
what happened.
Yeah.
Here's what happened.
Here's what happened
I told
was.
the candidate, one of the
what
candidates.
happened was.
The candidate, I told him what the company was. We started talking. I said, "This is the company," and then I told him I'm not going to present him, and he went and had his wife deliver his resume directly, and the hiring manager said, "I want to see him," and hired him.
And
so I said, "Don't hire that guy." I said, "Don't hire him." We got paid, but it didn't work out. Had to replace him. Okay, next question. Candidate intro videos. HireVue was posting on Twitter that they offer they let their applicants for jobs at their company go to their website and record an introductory video. You said, pour yourself a nice glass of scotch, light a good cigar, and enjoy random videos. A perfect Friday night. So I assume that you're not in favor of these video resumes, right?
No, not at all. No, because now you're just giving that hiring manager another reason to disqualify you. Because if they're like you, Animal, did you see the guy's haircut? Oh my God, we're not going to talk to him. Or then you got that candidate who's going to, for whatever reason, film it in his bathroom because apparently that's the only place that he can get privacy.
Okay. Anybody else? Anybody on the line like the idea of those introductory videos? Send an email video using Loom or something like that. Anybody like video? I mean, video is supposed to be real hot.
No, I do.
What about video?
Let me change that. I do love video interviewing.
What do you mean, like on
Zoom,
Skype or something?
Or Zoom or Skype, yeah. I do like that. Because that's if
Michael
you can't do a face-to-face.
No, I like the video interviewing if it's live, but the recorded thing, the problem that I have with it is, let's say Mark doesn't know enough about the job to know what to highlight in his video conversation. And it is really difficult. Imagine somebody that has never done this before or has very limited experience recording himself or herself. Now you're putting them on the spot, and they have to have lighting and proper angle and make sure that they're dressed appropriately.
We get the picture.
And talk about the right stuff.
You don't have to go on for 15 minutes, okay? We know what you're talking about. Okay.
All right.
Okay, but you know what? So you like Zoom? Is that the platform you like doing those video interviews on, Jim?
Yes. Yep. It's ad free too, so you don't have to worry about that.
Zoom.com.
Yeah, Zoom.
Is it .com?
Yeah, I think so. Zoom.us or something like that.
Okay, my questions don't seem to be turning you on. I'm just getting the feeling it's not lighting a fire here on the show. Is there something that you'd like to talk about more than what I'm raising here?
No, we can talk about video interviewing or those video intros because that all it's going to turn into is a generic cover letter where someone is, I'm just so excited to hear about your opening at such and such, and they're going to say the wrong company or do something wrong.
Yep.
Or if you want to talk about job descriptions, I love job descriptions.
Well, you said something interesting about job descriptions. You said people everybody is telling you how to write exciting job ads, and you said people never read them. They don't read past the title. Is that true in a job ad?
That's absolutely true. Like I told you before, I posted a dot as a job description. A dot. Got 56 applications for a dot. The title was IT intern. Yeah, some of them were good. I mean, like, what? They want to be a dot. That's all they cared about. Post another one for a contracts administrator. I got lawyers applying for this, and it clearly states it's an entry-level job. So that's not saying a lot about law schools anymore. If you can, read a job description, you're going to be able to read a legal document. Those guys scare the hell out of me.
People aren't reading that stuff.
No, I put Easter eggs in there saying if you want to get notified immediately or get, I have my actual contact information in the job description on Indeed. Nobody reads them.
Yeah,
I'd be shocked. I could put if you want to test that, we'll put a job title up there, but put nonsense in the description, just nonsense words, and I bet you still get a bunch of applications.
Yeah, and it's the same thing on the recruiting side. You've got people that actually, I saw this morning, created fake LinkedIn profiles, and it was actually the profile of a fish. And,
I thought that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, and people were still hitting them up with these spam emails asking them to connect because they have this perfect opportunity for them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
but
want
I
to
think
hire.
what Jim,
His name was
Go ahead.
Seagum. Actually,
yeah.
recruiters went after a guy named Seagum, which is the name of a fish, and he had a picture of a fish, and he described being a fish, but he dropped little keywords in there about being a programmer or developer or something. I was like, dude.
Yep.
Okay, but Jim, aside from that, what you said about these job descriptions, there's a lot of recruitment marketing people going on and on about how to do an exciting job ad and how awful it is to put a dull job description in there, and you're not going to attract people and blah blah blah. You're saying it's all nonsense. Is that what you're saying?
It's all marketing. Someone's got a product. You got too many aggressive words in your job description. You're going to really piss off a lot of females if you have it like that. But if you buy my product, you'll attract more females. But they can't tell you. It's like, was it like a Gallup poll where there's 3 million or 300 million people live in the U.S. and a Gallup poll is 1,500 people? Yet that's how everybody thinks is based on 1,500 people.
Okay. Here's something else
like,
that surprised me.
Lou Adler and his compelling job description and job ad and send that out, and it's like 18 pages long, and then people complain if you get a 3-page resume. Well, you just gave me an 18-page job description.
Okay, I don't know if Lou Adler does that, but I honestly don't know when people say make it exciting. I don't know what they're talking about. I mean, really.
No, I don't.
I mean, I just want the facts. What does the company do, and what's involved? What do I have to know to do the job? I mean, don't do that. Don't tell people that.
Well, so you should be playing my music then, because everybody wants to hire a rock star, but you won't play my rock star music.
Hold on. Play in the background. Play in the background for a while.
See? There you go.
Yeah, you say that you don't like this Snoopy email software. Someone sends you an email. They use software to see if you've read the email, and then within minutes of you reading the email, they call you to discuss that email.
No,
is that supposed to be?
It's within seconds.
Okay. Do I have to turn off the music? Is it bothering you?
No, it's not bothering me. But it's within seconds. I'll get an email from a vendor, and then as I'm reading it, the vendor's calling me. I'm like, good Lord, dude. And the other thing that people do that is kind of annoying is leave me a voicemail and send me an email 30 seconds after, say, I'm following up on my voicemail, which I literally just left you. They want you to learn all this other stuff.
They want to make sure they keep saying you have to have so many touches in order to, get somebody to respond. So they're hitting you. Rich Rosen bills $1 million a year on his own. He says he sends an email and a voicemail. It works for him. You don't like it. You think it's overkill.
One after another,
is that what you're saying?
One after another? I mean, within seconds of each other? I mean, I can see.
No, I don't know.
If you leave me a voicemail,
exactly.
then next day you shoot me an email just following up. But good Lord.
No, well, nobody answers their phone anyway unless they know who it's from. So you could call right now and then send a quick email saying, hey, I just left you a voice message. So, yeah, I can see the immediate succession like that.
Well, no, Mike, I like to answer my phone because I enjoy the spammers.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You think
the phone scams? Those are fun.
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's? I gathered that you think it's ridiculous that the idea of treating candidates like customers. Am I right about that? You don't like that either. You think that's hogwash?
It depends who's saying it. You got to treat candidates nicely, but if you're treat them like, for in the hotel industry, we treat them like guests. Yeah, you do treat them nicely. But again, that's someone trying to sell you something again. All these things where all these studies are coming from are $1,600 conferences where you post those a lot. Every time I see a hashtag come up, I'm like, oh, there's another conference going live right now where they talk about candidate experience. The candidate experience is what Indeed wants. You hit one click and you apply.
Okay, but you like those. You like those one-click deals, right? You like that, right?
I get way more applicants just posting directly on Indeed than anywhere else. Is that one click?
Are they good applicants or?
It's the same combination of whether they come from our website or come off Indeed. You get the good and the bad together.
But lots of people say, hold on. Lots of people say if you make it too easy to apply, you get people who are just really spammers. Essentially, they're applying for stuff that they're not really they're not good for. That you really need to have some screening process online, or you're going to get a lot of garbage. You're saying that's not true?
That's not true. So if you want to treat them like guests again, or if you want to treat them like customers, which is a better customer experience? You get to check out right away, or you have to fill out 17 forms, give a blood sample, name and next of kin, and what's your phone number before you check out? Because we want to gather all the information up front. Which is a better customer experience? Checking out right away, or going through a whole lot of crap?
Okay. Here's your music.
Uh-oh.
It'll show up in a minute. It's awful.
Well, no, I just had someone else complaining on Facebook. Walmart drags them through a 45-minute personality assessment to be a cashier.
Yeah.
Good Lord, to be a cashier?
Yeah, you hate personality assessments, is that right? You said it's like getting your tarot cards read. Yeah,
but it's bogus. It's how you felt that one day and how you felt the company wanted you to answer those questions on that one day you're doing it.
Yep.
It's completely the whole Myers-Briggs thing, the whole Myers-Briggs test or whatever it is, all made up. It's
Myers-Briggs.
What?
Myers-Briggs. Yeah, it's all made up. It's too wide.
No, but Myers-Briggs has been discredited. But there's other personality assessments.
Well,
what?
I'm sure there are. Hey, I have a great example of this animal. We used to use an assessment tool, and we would run it too early in the process, and it would taint the rest of the interview. Hiring managers would want to see that first. We tried doing it on the back end, so it wouldn't do that, but then they would weight it too heavily, and so we actually got rid of it. Plus, there were several times when I would have candidates that would take it, and then I would have them take it again and get completely different results from the same person within a matter of hours.
Okay.
Yeah,
but this guy
at a former company, they assessed everybody, looked at their performance of the people that we hired that were recommended versus the people that we hired that were recommended. There was no difference in their performance.
Yeah, you on Facebook, you said you prefer a coin flip to a personality assessment.
Yeah.
We got this guy. We got a guy who comes on the show. He's been on twice. He writes popular books. He's a professor. He says there's scientific personality assessments that are way better than interviews, and you can count on them. And yet every recruiter says you can't count on them. I don't know if they're on another planet or what. I got very excited when he said this is the way to hire people with these new personality assessments. Or this other guy said give them games to play. And they'll play games, and that'll reveal their personalities. Or just, there's software that can analyze their social media presence and tell you accurately what these people are like. And every recruiter says it's not true. I'm really confused. Okay.
So are we hiring them based on their personality? Are we looking for someone that gives a lot of group hugs every day, or is that what people are looking for? Then you got other people that sit there and say you got to hire people different than yourselves. That's how you make a diverse environment. That's how you get more productivity. But now you're saying you got to hire everybody the same. They got to fit this personality mode. Otherwise, we're not going to hire them.
I don't know. Let me do an ad. Hey, everybody. It's the recruiting animal for PC Recruiter. And I'm going to quote Jeremy Sizemore. He's been a guest on this show before, very successful SAP recruiter. Here's what he says about PC Recruiter. He said, I've been on PC Recruiter for over 15 years. Why? Because there's no reason to change. They're constantly improving the product. They've got great customer service. It's well priced and has all the functionality I want. I also love the mobile app, which I use all the time, and the ease with which I can import a LinkedIn profile or a Zoom info profile by clicking the import button. I like that too, okay? If PC Recruiter, you can customize reports however you want them for team meetings, pipeline, workflow, etc. I have to admit, I don't know exactly what those last things meant was, but you can customize your reports, right? Finally, PC Recruiter is a staple in our industry. About half of the Pinnacle Society is running PC Recruiter. Those are the best headhunters in the United States, okay? Our focus is on client development, recruiting, and making great placements, and PCR allows us to do that in a very efficient way. From the horse's mouth, everybody, PCRecruiter.net. Check them out. That was a little long. Wasn't it, Michael G. Cox? Should I have shortened that up? Okay, thank you. Okay. And anybody else besides Michael G. Cox and Jim want to talk? There's a lot of people on the line, but I just got a feeling that I'm not lighting a fire under Jim. Anybody want to, get him more excited than me? He's
what kind of
cool.
recruiting do you do, man? Jim?
What kind?
Yeah, what are you typically placing?
Oh, accounting, marketing, revenue, a little bit of operations folks, anything that supports behind the scenes, and there's another team that does the recruiting for the hotels themselves.
Hi, we're Meg and Amy from The Meg and Amy Show.
We're not only tech execs and big picture thinkers, we're also best friends.
We're curious learners. And on this podcast, we're challenging the status quo and activating the future.
And we're going to give advice about work and leadership, right, Meg?
We can't help ourselves. But this podcast is about exploring possibility, not being right.
That sounds refreshing.
For more, tune in to The Meg and Amy Show.
You work for a hotel company, right?
Yes. Yep. Well, I can say, Remington Hotels.
Okay. Someone posted, would you hire someone who had a small fib in their resume? I posted it. And I looked up, you had said previously all resumes contain lies. Is that true?
That is true. There's only 2 times in your life when you're perfect, when you're born and when you write your resume.
Uh-huh.
So there's always going to be a little overinflation in there. There's going to be just a little bit of a lie. You may have changed your job title so it sounds better.
Okay, so that's not an issue for you. If someone has a little fib in their resume, you'll still hire them, right?
A little fib, yeah.
Okay.
Everybody lies in their resume. You can't show me one resume where it's entirely truthful.
Uh-huh.
I challenge you to find that, or any recruiter.
I can show you eulogies that are not entirely truthful.
Yeah, see, yeah. Poor guy's
that's
already
another
dead.
time when people are pure. Yeah, eulogies are. You think everybody's an angel when you go to a funeral. I mean, it's unbelievable, especially if you knew the person yourself. Okay.
No.
Now,
no,
you not talk about Tinder.
What? Pardon me, Tinder. Okay, I've never been on it. Is that Kendra?
Yeah,
it's a recruiting
app. But when you want to
animal.
talk about lies and damn lies, you go on a dating site.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Yeah, on a dating site, if all you have is group pictures on the dating site, you're the ugly one.
Uh-huh. Okay. Wow, I'm glad that's buried in the middle of the show.
Well,
okay.
Recruiting and dating is very much the same.
This is a guy who marries people. You must marry a lot of people who've met on these dating sites, right?
Yeah. And you can almost tell when they're going to get divorced, too.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
You can kind of look at how they interact during their wedding. You're like, yeah, you won't make it a year.
Oh, really? Uh-huh.
Dang.
Have you ever married anyone twice?
Not yet.
Okay.
That'd be kind of awkward.
Okay. Well,
but I have.
Maybe not. Okay. Okay. You are very hard on vendors. Kendra, do you have a question? Something better than I'm asking?
I'll just weigh in that I'm a belt and suspenders voicemail email person. The email kind of looks like a dry template with links and the standard boilerplate, but I like to, when I leave the candidate a message, get a little more personal, like, hey, I really liked what I saw on your resume, really want to chat with you. I'm going to put a short version of this in email. Follow that. Please go apply. But I do both, and then I reference the voicemail in the email and reference the email in the voicemail, and I get about 80% response.
Uh-huh. If I got a voicemail from you with your sexy voice, I would reply, But with Jim's
voice,
I don't know.
I'm not even
on the
doing
radio.
the sexy voice right now.
What's it, you animal? Who's posting about business development people or females in recruiting? Someone did something about that the other day.
People who don't wear bras to work?
No, that was Amy. That was Amy Miller.
No, I don't wear bras to work either. It doesn't seem to be a problem for me.
Okay, what were you talking about business development? Oh, and Kendra was referring to Amy's posting. What did it say?
No, I was referring there's if you notice it now in business development, or just maybe they're just picking on me, but they're all kind of hot blondes in Dallas. and then the recruiters are all guys.
For the hot blondes for what kind of companies? Recruiting software or what?
Oh, staffing agencies.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that
okay.
happens
You're
in Connecticut
an in-house.
too.
Okay, you're an in-house recruiting manager, and so there's recruiters calling on you all the time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
and they've got cheerleaders
business
for their
development.
sales rep?
Yeah, absolutely. So I have someone
So
explain
Kendra,
that to
did
me.
you have some input about hot blondes?
Well, I have been both agency and internal, and I actually know the game, and they reach out to the hiring managers, and, yes, a lot of blonde.
Really? Okay. Could you dye your hair when you were in that business? Or you're in that business now? Okay. Okay, but you know what? But Jim is particular. I've never seen anybody consistently make comments that are very hard on vendors. Like, here's another one of his. Come on, folks, at least get the free version of Grammarly. And then he reproduces an email he got. The guy says, "Hi, Jim. My name is Jack, and I'm a part of the account management team here at Company. I'm reaching out. Connect, right? So it's missing a word to connect. So, it looks bad when, there's typos and stuff like that, and you apparently get a lot of them. Is that right, Jim?
Get a lot of vendors always reaching out, and if you can't even get that first email right, what else is going to be wrong?
Okay. So is it with candidates as well? You're biased against candidates that make typos or bad edits of their email?
Only if they do one thing. If they do one thing, then I'm completely biased. You put detail-oriented or on your resume anywhere, I'm going through it. and you better get everything right in there. Because I just had one the other day that she said she was, detail-oriented. Went through there, misspellings everywhere. Spelled account wrong.
Uh-huh.
She couldn't even spell her job title as accountant. Spelled that wrong. Spelled your job title wrong. I guess you missed that little detail, your actual job title.
Uh-huh. Okay. And you also say if they really want to impress an interviewer, a candidate should have them swing by Starbucks and get them some vanilla lattes. Were you just joking, or do you think that's actually a good thing to do?
Did I say that about a candidate?
You said, I'm going to quote you, if they really, this is only half of your comment. You said if they really want to impress, if they really want to, some woman went after me today on that bra posting. I deleted it because she went after me and she said, I quoted her out of context, right? She said she placed somebody and the candidate went in without a bra for 2 days in a row, and the client complained, and they had to replace that woman. So I posted her comment. Then she came after me. She said, it's out of context. I said, how? She said, because I had other comments there about other behavior she had. Anyway, so don't tell me that this is I said this might be a joke. I'm not trying to misrepresent you about vanilla lattes. Okay? Michael G. Cox, if they brought you a nice drink, would that make you feel good? Well-disposed?
Who brought me a drink? A candidate or
if someone's coming in for a face-to-face and they bring you an expensive Starbucks drink, would you like that person better?
No.
What? No?
No.
Okay.
No, it's just it's cute. But you don't know what I drink. I just want. No.
Would it turn you against them? Say this person's shallow. They think they can bribe me with a $2 drink or $3 drink.
No, I'm going to withhold my judgment.
Well, in all fairness, I think I was talking about vendors always showing up. So I jokingly tell them, if you really want to impress me, stop the donuts, bring in a prime rib carving station. I mean, let's take it up a notch. Everybody drops off donuts, or if you're here in Texas, you get breakfast tacos.
Okay, let me do another.
Breakfast tacos.
What's that?
Okay, I've not.
Breakfast tacos are acceptable.
Are they?
They sound pretty sloppy to me. They sound sloppy to me. I can't imagine eating one of those during the interview. Okay.
No, I'm talking about vendors, not
he's talking about vendors.
So they come in and you're eating this slop while you're talking to somebody about whatever they're trying to push on you?
You've never had a breakfast taco, have you?
Dude, seriously, it's not.
No, I've never
slop.
had a breakfast taco. I don't even know what it is. I hear it or read about it.
Oh my goodness.
You've never? Oh, you got to come out of Canada every once in a while.
Ain't living.
Okay, look. Okay, I'm also a vegetarian. I don't know if they make them.
You can do that.
Look.
You can get just meat or whatever they call that fake stuff.
Oh, yeah, soya or something like that. Okay, look, everybody, I have to do an ad for my good friends at Honeit, HONEIT.com. Honeit.com is phone interview technology. It records your interviews and turns the key questions and answers into separate audio clips to help your hiring managers hear the motivation, the personality, and the enthusiasm that the recruiter just heard, okay? When you can share a story with a hiring manager in the candidate's own voice, it delivers a ton of info that you can't get from a resume. You can't get it from a dry report. So if you want to get a hiring manager excited about a great candidate, share some of that sizzle with Honeit IT, okay? And look, it turns the conversation into a transcript as well. So you could search for keywords. You could pass everything around to anybody on the hiring committee. It works with every ATS or CRM. Go check it out, HONEIT.com. Jim, I have a problem with you today. Like if I was going to send a clip from this interview, I keep trying to get that sizzle out of you. I'm trying to put some fire under you. You're just so low key. I just don't feel I'm engaging you properly. What do you want to talk about that you feel passionate about?
Well, now I'm kind of passionate about breakfast tacos. The fact that you haven't had any.
Yeah, okay. Okay. You agree with this statement. Only assholes ask brain teaser interview questions. Am I right about that?
You're right. What's the point of that? You try to make yourself look smarter to the candidate?
Okay, well, you said
they're irrelevant to the
that.
job.
Jim said if you can guess the exact number of jelly beans in the jar at the receptionist desk, you're hired.
Yeah.
Okay, hold on. Here's a serious one. You said you were thinking about having to upgrade to Facebook Premium to get good search results, and you were asking people to help you with that. Do you do Facebook searches a lot in your recruiting?
Yeah, I try a lot, but I think Facebook doesn't want you to search on them. I got to be. If anybody's successful searching on Facebook, well, a lot of people like myself, you would never know I was a recruiter if you try to search for me on Facebook. Same thing on Twitter. You'd never know because I use Facebook as kind of a laughing thing. There's a little, let off some steam, some stuff. But I don't. Like I'm a penguinologist in the Antarctic. That's my job title.
Mm.
So you look at a lot of people. I can't even find people. And I used to have this little cool widget, or I guess Chrome extension on LinkedIn that would find me everybody's LinkedIn, or not LinkedIn, their Facebook and their Twitter profile. But LinkedIn said, "Oh, you can't have that anymore. If you want to keep using that, if you want to keep using LinkedIn, you got to delete that." Okay,
well, we're not talking about LinkedIn now. We're talking about Facebook, right?
I am talking about Facebook, but it's very difficult to find people on Facebook.
Okay, I agree, but obviously other people are doing it successfully. Kendra, are you searching on Facebook for people?
No.
Why not?
I think Facebook could be. Go ahead. Sorry.
I need corporate types that are in the greater New York City, Connecticut area, and and then they got to have telecom. So there's better places to look.
Okay, it's just better, but apparently, you can use. There's all kinds of oblique ways to search on Facebook. You just have to find one person like that, and then you find all the people they're connected to, and a lot of them are likely in the same field. At least that's the theory. Okay.
Well, if you use mine, there's absolutely nobody connected to me on Facebook that would be doing what I'm doing. It's all family and friends. So unless you're I mean, that's really what to me Facebook is family and friends, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. What about this idea? I always read that the number one reason people quit jobs is because of the manager. Do you find that's true?
And money.
Money. Okay.
Money.
So
you got money up there.
So
but
when you ask
manager,
them why they're go ahead.
Well, the manager motivates them to look. But then once they start looking, they want more money than they're making now. But they're motivated by that manager to start looking.
Okay.
If they were happy, then that goes back to.
No, when you ask them, you say, "Well, what's motivating you to take a look, or why would you be interested in taking a look at this job right now?" What do they tell you? Are they honest? What?
No, they're not going to tell you. Nobody's going to, unless they're a professional athlete or a movie star, they're not going to tell you more money. Because then in the back of your mind, you'd be thinking, well, that's all. They're motivated by greed. They're not looking for that. Everybody knows how to answer interview questions. Everybody.
Okay. So, in other words, only an idiot or a naive person would admit, I'm looking for a job because I want more money. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yep.
Or
if that's your nobody. That's true to the salesperson. I'm looking for a bigger commission or something. But if I'm looking for an accountant and their only reason for looking, I just want to get paid more. No, I appreciate the honesty, but
you don't.
That means
you
always
want
going to be
them to
looking.
lie to you. So you want these people to lie to you. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
They can at
and
least
the same
say
thing.
professional growth. Just say, I'm looking for professional growth.
That's what. Yeah, there you go. That's the answer. I'm very limited to where I'm at. I'm looking for a growth opportunity.
That's what
and
they
so
all
you
say.
assume. Yeah. So you all assume that that's not true, but that's what you want to hear. You want them. You want them to lie to you. That's what you're saying, right?
Well, I want a reason other than I want more money.
Okay,
Wanting more
what
money
if
is still a good thing.
What if he or she said, what if the candidate says, Jim, I don't like my manager. I want a new manager.
Oh, I get that all the time. So what is it about your manager that kind of rubs you wrong? So I want to make sure I'm not putting you back in that same position. Because sometimes it turns out it's not the manager. It's look in the mirror. It's you. You're an asshole to have it as an employee.
You'll tell somebody that?
You can't. Well, you'd love to. If I was an agency recruiter, I probably would. Cause but as corporate, I got to look out for my guests. But if the last 3 jobs you left is because you had a poor manager, the common denominator is not the manager; it's you.
Okay, so you're sort of contradicting yourself now. You say you do want them to be honest about this, or you don't mind if, or are they stupid for admitting that the manager is the problem? Is that a mistake?
No, that's not a mistake at all. But if you say for the last 3 times, I just didn't get along with my manager. I left because I had a poor manager. So either you're not interviewing the person you're going to work for, or it's probably you.
Okay, Kendra, are you in agreement with him? Does anyone ever say I don't like my manager? And are they stupid if they do so?
It's usually the truth, but they'll say things like, I'm looking for alignment, or the organizational goals don't align with the direction I want to grow in. That's what they say.
But if you actually ask for a follow-up question on that, what do they say then?
Like the company is shrinking, there's not room to grow, or we added another line of business, or new leadership came in. That's all code speak,
So all this stuff is irrelevant. The reason for leaving is it's a non-issue. Is that right? Both of you seem to be saying that.
Well, let me clarify mine a little bit. If I reached out to you, I targeted you, I always preface it with, I understand I reached out to you, but what's causing you to want to explore other opportunities? Now, if you apply to me, then you get a little bit different treatment, because now you're actually pursuing a position versus me pursuing you.
Well, you know what? Even if you're recruiting a passive candidate, the employer, your client, or the hiring manager wants to know, why would this person be interested in making a move, or why would they consider a move? You're going to have to, in the end, ask them that question one way or another, right?
No, I ask them all the time.
What are you looking for in your next position?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Or my go-to question has always been, what is causing you to want to explore other opportunities? Kind of toss it back in their court in a nice way.
Okay.
Don't say, why are you looking?
But obviously, both of you and Kendra, Michael G. Cox hasn't spoken. There's other people on the line. No one has spoken up. You don't expect to get an honest answer. It's money or managers, and in fact, you don't want honest answers. That's what it sounds like to me. It's funny. It's funny that this is it's like a nonsense question. What's your greatest weakness? That's another dumb one. Okay, so a lot of the questions recruiters ask, which seem to be important questions, they're really meaningless. Let me ask something else now. I'm going to move on.
Well,
you're not crazy about.
That's the truth.
Yeah. Okay. You're not crazy about Glassdoor. You said Glassdoor has to have a disclaimer. We do not verify that these reviews are from actual or former employees. Is it that bad?
It's that bad. Indeed has implemented that you can actually get verified reviews. They will.
What does that mean?
It means if you as an employer, you will send a list of names to Indeed, and then they will send a request out for them to come back and fill out fill out the review. And if they do, it gets a little star next to it that says verified review.
Well, that's like on Amazon. They've got verified purchaser.
Yeah, that
so
you actually bought the product.
Yeah. Mhm. Mhm.
And
okay.
where I get reviewed,
you know
where I get reviewed as a pastor, it says verified or not verified. So if someone actually came on there and said, "Yeah, I actually did hire him. He actually did this before me." But Glassdoor doesn't offer that. I could go on there and I could review every company under the sun and say I worked for them. There's no.
Yeah, I guess they feel that the anonymity.
You don't even put a picture up there like Yelp. At least you got to have some sort of login with Yelp. You got to join Yelp and then have a user ID and all the other stuff, and maybe make a profile.
Okay,
Glassdoor
but a lot of companies.
Completely anonymous.
I went to I don't usually go to conferences, but I went to one local one, and there was to my surprise there was an engineering manager, an HR person in an engineering company, and she was really concerned about the bad reviews on Glassdoor. Glassdoor was a big issue for her, so. I'm assuming corporate recruiters like yourself take it very seriously, even if they're not valid. That they're biasing, making people biased against you.
You have to think, because it is your company out there or your organization, you got to take it somewhat seriously. But if you look at the negative reviews and how negative they are, that's generally someone that's been fired. It's because
I'm going to do another ad. I've left it too long. I've left it too long. Hey, everybody! Recruiting Animal doing an ad for HireTool, HireTual, and I'm going to quote my good friend Trish Wyderka again. I'm going to spell her name first, Wyderka. So you know she's a real person. She is verified by me. Okay. Here's what she says about HireTool. I love the product! ! She wrote this on Facebook. I finally got my company to purchase a seat for me, and it's such a time-saving tool. I support 17 recruiters and account managers in 4 different recruiting specialties, and man, it can get a little crazy without some help. I wrote an article, and you can find it on my LinkedIn page, about the accuracy of the emails and phone numbers I found through this search tool. I gave you the spelling of her name. You can go to find her on LinkedIn. And if you need a resume, she writes those as well for, $150. Nice girl. Check her out. HireTool.com. Okay, I'm feeling bad, Jim. I had a feeling this was coming. You're the funniest commenter on my Facebook group. You leave comments, they make me laugh, but you are low-key on this show. I want you to make me laugh, okay? Can't you do that?
Stop yelling at me for a second.
Okay.
So how long you been a recruiter?
A long time. I'm not here to be interviewed. I'm here to ask the questions.
Well,
okay. Look,
I'm asking the question.
Here's what you say. Here's how you build rapport when you get someone on the phone. You say, my opening line is, it's a nice day here in Dallas. Tell me how you truly feel about Elizabeth Warren.
If you're looking to explore fresh perspectives, dive into compensation tech, or just enjoy a lively conversation and debates about the evolving world of total rewards, you're in the right place. Welcome to Totally Rewarding Chats, where we discuss the future of compensation, benefits, talent, and all things HR tech. I'm Sean Luchins, VP of Product Strategy at Salary.com, bring years of product and development perspective. Joining me is the bow tie wearing, comp tech loving, experienced guru Paul Ryman, founder and managing partner of Novo Insights. Together, we'll be jamming with guests and sharing candid, unfiltered conversations about total reward strategy, compensation technology, talent trends, and anything else we find interesting in the world of HR.
There you go. Well, how do you feel about Elizabeth
Warren? No, you don't
Warren?
do that. Okay. Well, how do you build rapport? How do you build rapport quickly when you make do you cold call candidates?
Yeah, just ask them how they're doing. Just the regular thing if you meet them in the hallway.
No. So what do you say when you get the person on the phone? What do you say to them?
No, just usually who I'm from. And
well,
then
so I want to hear the
off.
exact words. If you've ever heard the show, I like to hear the exact words, okay, so I can copy you, okay?
Okay.
What do you say?
So
exactly?
Hey,
Yeah.
Animal, this is Jim Wahl with Remington Hotels. I know I caught you off guard, but I want to see if I get some time on your calendar to talk about the Director of Accounting position. Keep it short and simple.
Yeah.
Hard pass.
Okay. I'm free right now, Jim.
All right.
So you're not going to ask me about the hockey game last night, or
Well, you're not here to be interviewed. Are you here to be interviewed or not? Because
you're cold calling me about a job. You're cold calling me to tell me about the position you've got available. So don't you want to break the ice with me? I don't have a drink, okay? So you have to do something that's going to warm me up, or do you want to just get right to it? It's up to you. I'm just trying to find out how you do these calls.
Well, tell me how you feel about breakfast tacos.
Yeah. Okay. Here's. I asked a question on Facebook. A guy posted a tweet. It says, "Fuck off, James Neal, head-slashing motherfucker." Okay, and I said, "Is that going to be an issue if you saw your candidate posting this on Twitter?" And you said, "It's just an angry sports fan. If that was an issue, if that was an issue, it would be next to him."
Well, you're in Canada. You ever been hit in the head with a hockey stick?
No, I never have, actually. Thank goodness.
Well, now, did you play hockey?
Yeah, I did when I was younger. But your point is that if this was an issue, it would be impossible to fill roles. You said your point of view is that you can't go on someone's social media feed and judge their competence or cultural fit with your company by what they say on Twitter. Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. We're getting down to the last few minutes. What should I ask you?
So what I don't like is people that look for ways to disqualify people.
Uh-huh.
And that's kind of what that is. I'm going to try to find something where I don't have to talk to you. And let me find anything I possibly can that precludes me from having a conversation with you. So if someone gets mad about a high sticker, why not?
Okay,
now,
well, they're not just
there,
getting mad about a high sticker. Someone who's high sticking, they're using rough language. Okay, that's the issue there. Not the fact that they're talking about a foul. Okay, let me go on to something else.
Now they're upsetting the snowflakes of the world. Everybody's getting upset because they use a word that everybody and they should have said effing. Right?
Okay.
Got to be effing.
Yeah.
You want it
or freaky or friggin'.
Yeah, frickin' high sticker. But everybody knows what you meant. Just say it. It's like the little kid.
Okay.
If you allow your little kid to scream at the shopping mall, you're a frickin' idiot. Just let him say the word.
Okay, I think it makes a difference to some people. Okay, here's the thing. I want to get this before the show's over. Okay, with money, if you call someone up, like you called me up, and after we finish talking about breakfast tacos, you say, look, I want to talk to you about this director of accounting position. And if the person says, Jim, what's it paying? You talk money with them right away. You're not like Lou Adler, and you don't say, look, this is a career issue, not a money issue. Let's talk about money later, okay? So you don't do that. You address the money issue right away. Am I right about that?
That's correct. Why waste your time? If I have a budget, my budget can only pay $80,000, and you want to make $110,000, I'm not going to drag you through the interview process because you think you can impress somebody, and they're going to give you a 30% jump on something they can't afford. But if you want me to, I'll drag you through, and you can speak to 15 people, and at the end we'll go like, well, it was $80,000. You should have told me that before I went through all that. So it's better to be upfront than waste everybody's time. To me, that's a good candidate experience. If the job only pays X and they want Y, then why move on?
Okay, so if it's an 80 to 90 range, and you know that, I think you said you won't tell them the top end. You'll say it's in the 80s, right? You won't give them the exact range. No,
you're correct, because everybody will hear that second number.
Uh-huh.
No matter what the range is, if I say it's 50 to 70, all you heard was 70. You forgot. I completely
but 50 to 70
50.
actually makes it a little more difficult. What are you going to say?
Yeah.
Like if it's 80 to 90, you could say it's in the 80s. If it's 50 to 70, what are you going to say?
Well, at that point, I kind of take it back on them. I said, I don't know what you're making now, but what would you like to make in order to make a move to Remington? And I kind of put it back on there.
And will they actually tell you?
90% of the time they do. They won't even give me their current salary, which is fine, but they'll give me what they want to make. And that bodes well for me in California, New York, Massachusetts, where I can't ask you what you make.
Well, they might say, Jim, I don't want to tell you. I don't want to commit to any salary before I find out a lot about the job. It's too early for me, okay? So you're going into it blind with no money talk. Is that fair for you?
No.
So you won't recruit somebody, even if someone's profile looks good, you won't recruit them until you've got an idea, until they actually make a statement about what they're looking for, before they even really have.
I will do the initial call, but after that, everybody's going to want to know, can we afford them? So what's the point of putting them in front of the hiring manager if we don't know if we can afford them or not? And why would that person want to? If you're that person, why do you want to waste your time? If you don't, why are you test driving a Porsche when you got the budget for a Ford? You can't buy it, so why are you even bothering with it?
You know what? Let me get this question in before it's all over, because it's a Jerry question, and you actually are one of the few people who've ever addressed it. You say with the agency agreement, yours don't allow for a 1-year ownership of the candidate. If I send you a candidate tomorrow, and you don't hire that person, and you hire that same, but you hire 6 months later through another agency for a different job, I can't come to you and say, look, that's my candidate. You got to pay me as well.
No, you can't. I didn't hire him because of you. You gave it to him. That's why I stand by Jerry. If it wasn't for that other agency, I probably wouldn't have even known about the other guy, that he was available, ready to go again. That's the person that presented him. If you
find the resume on your own ATS 6 months later, it's there because of me. Will you pay me?
No. If
Why
you
not?
own that candidate, well, you tell me you owned him. So what did you do during that ownership period? Did you take him to lunch every day? Did you call and go to some kids' ball games?
You wouldn't have had that candidate. You wouldn't have had the candidate if I hadn't sent her to you.
You don't know that.
Okay.
Why should you get credit?
Okay.
So
hold
what
on.
you can do
what
then
if
is
I
you
present
can
a candidate? Final question. What if I present a candidate? Okay, then you come to me afterwards and say, it turns out we had this person in our database anyway. I'm not going to pay you for him. Are you going to do that to me then as well?
No, I've never done that. Just to be honest with you, I've never done that.
Okay.
At all.
Okay.
But on your first one, so what's to stop you from sending me 10,000 resumes on people and go like, no, I sent it to you. All those 10,000 people are mine. Like, really? Just because you send me somebody?
They're only mine. They're only mine for the job I send them in for, right?
Or if you call them back up and you're in constant contact with that candidate and you know that we have another opening and you bring them back up, yeah. You just got to do some work.
For the job. Okay, that's another job. Okay. Jim Wahl, J_WAHL. You know what? I got a lot more questions. Next time you come on, I'm going to make you more excited, but I've enjoyed meeting you all the same. Michael G. Cox, Kendra. Maureen whispering in the background. Thank you! We're
Little